What is your opinion about Ukraine?
It's really beautiful here. It's an amazing country. I just find that there just seems to something starting here. There's something new and fresh here with the people. And maybe that has to do with the politics, maybe that has to do with the changing of the nation. But in general, I just meet this openness and a hunger for spirituality, an openness to spirituality. So I think that's so important. Question.
What is the biggest difference between people in the USA and in the Ukraine, for example?
Oh, it's interesting. There's certainly big differences. I think that, you know, obviously the economy in America is a bit better, and so I think people in the Ukraine are much more practical in the sense that enjoyment seems to come from interaction, nature. There's a simplicity, a comfort. I think Westerners, they have so much. There's so many choices. They can get 500 kinds of coffee. Things like this. And Ukraine's changing. I mean, there's a lot of amazing things here. But as far as the people are concerned, I think that the people seem to be more satisfied and comfortable in simplicity. And I would have to be here a lot longer, but it seems like there's more of a quietness in the mind, a natural quietness in the mind. That's harder, I think, for Westerners to get to all the time. But really, there's so many similarities. I mean, I feel like everyone's struggling with the same kinds of emotional issues, mental issues. So I'm more, I guess, connected to how people connect. That's more my concern, because it's easier to look at bridges and gaps and how people are separate. But by and large, I think there's a lot of the same struggles going on, you know, in America as in the West. I think that's part of the reason I'm here teaching yoga, because I feel like it's my calling. I'm supposed to be doing this work, and just the fact that I feel very welcome here. So that's why I come and teach here.
Can you shortly describe your yoga practice somewhat? What is about your practice?
Well, it's grounded in the physical initially. We can all grasp things. We all see things in the world. We're all participating in the physical in some ways. So yeah, I like to start with that physical. Can I move some piece of structure? Can I move my arm into its socket? Can I keep it there in different positions? And there's a practical value in that. But I'm really trying to get at the energy. Bones are dense energy. When I can straighten that arm, I'm incredibly strong. If somehow that line breaks, I'm not going to be as strong. But that's where energetics come into place. You know, if I can connect to the bone energy, I can connect to the muscular energy. I can connect to the nervous system, and that's all connecting with emotions, thoughts, past, future, and in the end, if I can get people to let go of all those things, you know, like, yeah, get in the best alignment you can available, and stay as open here to feel how the experience is not separate from you. You're not someone doing a pose. You are the experience. You are this pose in some sense. And so the metaphor is, hey, I'm in Warrior 2, you know, but when it gets difficult, oh, I want to get out of Warrior 2, that's life. Difficulties are coming. Can I stay in life? Can I stay in that moment? Because it's going to pass. It's going to pass. And something changes. And our relationship with difficulty and suffering and pain changes when I can hold that edge. And that's why I teach asana so much, because I think it's really where people build confidence, and they build a certain amount of, you know, physical pride. They build a bigger ego. Right? A lot of times people are depressed and they need something that helps build them up, and then we're sacrificing that ego. We're going somewhere so deep beyond ego at the end of the day. And I don't care if people can move their shoulders back. But I know it's going to make their physical life easier. It's going to remove pain in their body. And if that pain is removed, it's going to be a lot easier to stay in spirit. It's going to be a lot easier to stay connected to heart. Right? That's the challenge for us. How do I stay in my heart?
Rich, what you will show in the Carpathian Festival?
What will I show?
Present your class in this festival.
Well, you know, the name of the workshop, you know, going into bliss through backbends. And this idea of approaching this safely. So it's about putting your body where you can. Not everybody can grab their foot, right? But if you know, part of the work we do is supporting each other at the end point. And then just seeing if I can stay in that end place, you know, for a minute or two or maybe 3 or 5, and then something changes. And something is let go in this physical realm in a way. And a lot of that tension is mental. A lot of that tension is emotional. A lot of that tension is from your past. What's scary is that, oh, I'm open. And that's where people, you know, they have a choice. Do I want to stay in that openness, or do I want to go back to my old self? You know, so it's tricky. So what I'm trying to do is I'm presenting a life skill on one level. It's sneaky. I teach sneaky yoga. Right.
About our festival, about this place, about our conception, about our idea. Do you know the similar or better some?
This environment is beautiful. I mean, it's walking in here just really makes one mindful. I walked up to there's a hill up top here where you can see the entire surrounding area. And so just the physical energy of the place is very helpful. It's grounding, and yet you're way up there in the hills. No, and coming here, meeting the people are so open with each other. They're ready for this place. It's obviously it's obviously an interconnectedness. The food has been amazing. I've had interactions with people in the tents. I've had interactions with people who are staying in the dorms, and everyone's so comfortable and very grateful to have a place to come and practice safely, you know, and share with each other and go deeper with each other. And so we're like, you know, you guys are creating a community, which is hard because people come with all their expectations. It's raining. Oh, what am I going to do? That's the beauty in the day. Right? This will be something that everyone remembers. Like, remember that day we got all muddy, and the class, we had to do something different. But that's what life is. Things change. Right? So I can't do anything about the weather here, but I can do a lot to change this. And I think the festival is trying to really show us that too, in some sense. That, you know, we could sit in our rooms and do kirtan if we have to at the end of the day. So no, but I think it's a beautiful environment. I think you guys are creating a really lovely environment for everyone. I've traveled quite a bit in the United States, and we do have a lot of natural yoga festivals, and I used to teach at a few of them in America. And it really is about community building. I've done some yoga festivals in the Ukraine, and obviously this environment is really unique, and it's clean, it's organized, it's very easy to come here. And you know, as a presenter, I mean, I feel really lucky. It's a very comfortable room and things like that. I'm pretty low maintenance. I can live in a tent. I live in India half the year, and I live very simply there. And then when I'm in the United States, I think the expectations are high in the United States for having a certain kind of place to stay. But this would meet those expectations. I mean, this kind of environment, it's so comfortable. The rooms are so comfortable. It's kind of like in the way of being in the U.S., because I think the U.S. has such a reputation for having good festivals. And they've been doing yoga festivals for a long time here. But I'm really impressed with this. For I don't know how many years you guys have been doing this, but it feels like, yeah, it feels like you know what you're doing. You know, everyone's having a good time, so you're doing all right.
If you saw our teachers, what can you say about the level of our Ukrainian teachers of yoga?
I feel physically, there's a lot of advanced practices going on. I have a language barrier, so I don't know the depth of communication with spirituality, so I'm not the best person to speak on that. You know, there's always something that's lost in translation. But I know that you have some presenters coming here that I'm acquainted with. Andre Lapa is a very old friend, and he's a master of master teachers. I mean, he's incredible knowledge. So, you know, and has been teaching in Russia and America and obviously in the Ukraine. So if that's the level of all the instruction, then you're getting the best of the best. You know, so you're very blessed for that. And I'm traveling with one of my friends here who's a very, she's an up-and-coming teacher, and she's really brilliant, Anna Panini. And yeah, and I've gotten to meet these wonderful people here. I've been teaching for a while, and yeah, Yuri's got this beautiful practice, you know, that I probably physically will never be able to do half of what you can do. You know, so you know, the practice is the thing. I mean, as long as everyone has a practice, I think that's the most important thing. So, you know, we can't compare practices really. I think we have to be careful about saying this teacher's better than that teacher, things like that. Everyone has something to bring. Everyone's a teacher ultimately, to be honest with you. And sometimes they're just teaching you what not to do, and sometimes they're teaching you very subtly exactly, you know, how to get into the flow of your life. It's not about doing what other people do in the end. It's about creating a space where people find themselves. Some of the best yoga practices are just walking your dog mindfully. It's not about any pose. It's not about any breathing practice. But those practices give us insights, and that helps calm our hearts. So, and we're getting plenty of that here. We're getting plenty of that work here. I want you to be happy. And even beyond that, I don't want you to be unrealistically happy. Because right now, we have so much. We have so much. And just opening up to that, even your difficult moments, even the hardest things that you've been through, these are opportunities to start to let go of what holds you back. That's not easy. It's hard to let go. Sometimes we're like, oh, I am my scar tissue, I am my wound, I am my heartache. And it's scary to break those things open and to go deep inside. But when you go deep enough, you're fine. We're all fine. We're all connected. So my highest wish is that we just recognize that we are connected, that we're just one thread of energy moving back and forth, right? Occasionally differentiating into different human beings, different forms. It's the Carpathian Mountains, but you know, they seem like all individuals, but they come together, and just like human beings, we come together and we create something. That's our truest, highest purpose, I think, to become one.